As human beings, when we have bitterness, hate, discontent, and malice in our hearts, we have a tendency to retaliate against the people affiliated with the situation that did not turn out the way we wanted it to. The best move and the best thing to do is to live your best life and be successful against the people that are against you or you're against them. However, you're going to have to pay for that retaliation. And in particular, with Pam Long, falsely accusing your ex-husband of abusing you and a few other things was not the right method. And see, Pam Long now has had to pay for her words and her mess.
I come before you today with deep regrets concerning the statement that I'm about to make. On October the 20th, 2019, from my show Pam's World, I made a comment about my ex-husband, Jaime Long, and that comment was that he forces himself on women. And right after that, I said, do you remember that night? I was telling the world that my ex-husband, not even basically, I was telling the world that my ex-husband forced himself on me sexually, and that was a lie. Jaime, I'm sorry for what it is that I have said about you. I'm sorry for the shame that I have brought to your name, to your family, to you, your wife, your mom, your sister, and those who love you. Also to my family, to my church family, to my friends, to those who love me, who had no idea that this was a lie that I said concerning Jaime. I ask that you forgive me as well. Jaime, I'm sorry, and I know that sorry does not make up for what it is that I have said, but I ask that you will find it in your heart to forgive me for what it is that I have done to you and to your family.
So as many of you know, Pam Long retracted the statement that she made about her ex-husband, Jaime Long, claiming that he was abusive towards her during the marriage. Now, when I was looking at the apology video, Pam looked a bit scared and traumatized. Maybe it's me, but it just seemed very strange. And so my thing is that Pam Long, falsely accused her ex-husband of abusing her, physically, emotionally, etc. in response to him being in a new relationship. And Pam only did it because she was bitter. So I'm going to give a bit of a backstory on this whole situation, which will lead up to now and Pam Long's apology video coming out. And then we're going to discuss this situation, okay? So many of you know about Cyntoia Brown, and her name is Cyntoia Brown Long. Now, she was sentenced to life in prison after she was enslaved and trafficked by a man named Johnny Michael Allen. And so in order to get out of her situation, Cyntoia Brown murdered and robbed this man. And this all happened when she was a teenager. People got a hold of her story and started reading and trying to understand it. And people petitioned and worked on her to get out. And Cyntoia Brown was granted clemency after serving 15 years in prison. So, in getting out, Cyntoia Brown Long wrote a book and she did interviews and, was trying to get back on her feet, back into society as an older woman. However, during her tenure in prison, she had developed a relationship with a man named Jaime Lynn Long. And so they got married and, we didn't know this was all happening. We're like, okay. And, this also came about that he was the ex-husband of Pam Long from Total. And so they went on the Breakfast Club and did an interview, and Cyntoia Brown Long talked about her experience in jail and everything that happened throughout her life. And Jaime and Cyntoia talked about their marriage. And then Jaime went on to talk about Pam Long, his ex-wife. So Jaime Long spoke about Pam Long making false statements about him in response to his new relationship with Cyntoia. So once Pam heard about it, something clicked in her mind where that bitterness, that jealousy, that malice started to come about. And so in retaliation and in response to Jaime finding new love, she went on her podcast, Pam's World, and she made this statement.
How about the man that forces himself on women? Do you remember that night? You want to go there? Come on. I don't think you really want to talk about you. So my thing is that all the lies, and like I said to anybody else, come on, hook me up to any machine.
So you had people that were in utter shock in response to the allegations that Pam was making about her ex-husband. So, outside of that clip, she was giving, details about their marriage and all the wrong things that he did to her. Now, you have some people that took what she said with a grain of salt. They were just like, I don't know about this one. I will tell you that I fell in line with that group, okay? I was looking at Pam making her statement and those allegations, and it was something about the way she was holding herself, the way she was looking in the camera. It was something about the way she was pulling the words together that just did not sit right with me. And I will tell you, discernment is key. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, something isn't right. I don't want to say I don't believe her, but I'm kind of leaning towards that. And so in looking at that clip a year later, looking at it now, my discernment proves me right. That what she was saying was false, y'all. And if you listen to that entire podcast, okay, because I listened to it practically outside of that clip. She spoke of God and doing right and God working in your life, and then for her to make those false statements in about the middle of that podcast, it's just like, you came to us as a wolf in sheep's clothing, asking for sympathy because you were upset about a situation that did not go your way. Your marriage didn't last. You got a divorce, unfortunately, and then your husband moves on to be with someone else. So you made the decision to tarnish his character and lie on him about being abusive towards you in the marriage. And you sat on it for a year, knowing that this was a false statement. And I know it had to be eating Pam up to know that she lied on this man, that she could not control her emotions enough. So she put this man on blast, but it was all false. And I say, Pam, shame on you. Shame on you for lying on this man. See, there are people that will say, oh, this is a black woman, you got to believe her whether she's telling the truth or not. People jokingly say that because there are black women that make allegations and they are totally false. They lie on these men. And see, my thing is that it's protect black women all day. However, if a black woman lies on a man about something that did not happen, she's going to have to pay for her wrongdoings. Okay? Like, there are people that believe black women until they are proven otherwise. You understand? However, hopefully the universe works it out where there's some reform to that and people are not able to see it in that light anymore. Okay? So we all know about the Me Too movement, which is designed for women to come out about the abuse that they've experienced publicly, right? But there is also the Him Too movement, where men basically publicize the false allegations that are made about them. And I feel like that is the right thing to have as well. There are a lot of women out here that see their ex-husband or see their boyfriend with another woman, and they are absolutely disturbed. They are bitter. They are malice. They're of much discontent, just like I said earlier. And they feel like, I want him to suffer because I'm suffering too. They're not going to say it, but they feel it. And it's wrong, because there are a lot of men who lose their jobs and lose their families and freedom and opportunities because a woman is not getting what she wants, or she didn't get what she wants. And see, when that karma comes back around to hurt you, don't be surprised. There are men that don't deserve to go through that at all. There are women that end up in jail because of a man. 9 times out of 10. Ask any woman, why am I in jail? I was abused and I attacked my husband, or I was abused and attacked my boyfriend. I participated in illegal activities. I was doing whatever to protect myself. And it all refers back to a man. But there are men that are in jail because of a woman. Because that woman put together the evidence, She put together the lies. She gathered the tears and cried in court and said a man did something to her and he didn't do anything at all. I don't stand for women being abused by a man. And I don't stand for women falsely accusing men of things that they have not done. So when I see Pam Long on the Instagram, on the internet, anywhere, apologizing for what she did, that's that karma right there. You know, they probably could have been suing her. They could have been threatening her. I really don't even know. But as you can see, she had to pay for what she did in terms of lying on this man. If this man never put his hands on you, if he was never abusive in that way, why would you do that? Now, early on in the video, I said that, you know, you have to live your best life and be successful and move forward. And I'm going to go into detail a little bit about that. That's better said than done. I ain't gonna lie. Just think about the fact that, like, there are people that are really bitter after a breakup. And I can understand, especially for a woman. We get real petty and we not thinking and we take matters into our own hands and retaliate. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Let's not front. But you really have to put in the work, busy yourself, know your worth, and understand that the relationship that man is in now may not be something you even want. Because the universe works everything out for a reason. God works out everything for a reason. So if somebody's not in your life anymore, please take it as a blessing and move on. Because the new woman that he's with might be catching hell and high waters dealing with him, while you're in your singleness preparing for another man to come along, and that situation might be even better. You understand? So just to wrap everything up, I'm gonna put Pam Long on the prayer list. You know, what she did was absolutely wrong. You know, I've loved Total throughout the years. The group, you know, I love when they did that little dance or whatever. That was cool. But Pam, you was wrong. All right, you guys, leave me your thoughts. Tell me how you feel. Take care.